Welcome, boils and ghouls. I'm your foul host, Rickety Rooster. And this is Midnight
Monster Movie Review!
Damn it, Donnie. I told you the first time we tried to film this, you don't have to play the intro every time I say the name of the show.
Okay, so you don't want me to play it when you say what?
When I say Midnight
Monster Movie Review!
You little son of a bitch. Anyway, welcome to the show. This episode, we're going to be reviewing the new horror flick, Slender Man. Me and Donnie snuck out and watched this film last night, and let me tell you, this movie is amazingly horrible. The movie is based on the internet myth video game character, Slender Man. So if you don't know what this movie's about, here it is straight from IMDb. In a small town in Massachusetts, a group of friends fascinated by the internet lore of the Slender Man attempt to prove he doesn't actually exist until one of them mysteriously goes missing. Which is wrong, but I'll get into that in a minute with spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, don't watch any further. Just skip to the time down below. Well, let's just jump into it. First things first, the characters. The movie centers around 4 teenage girls. 5 if you count this chick's sister, but she's not in the movie much. We have girl 1, girl 2, girl 3, and this chick. I call them this because there's no real characters in this movie. Each girl is pretty much the same, except this chick's dad is drunk, and this one kinda puts off that she's the darker rebel of the group. But yeah, you could interchange girl 1 and girl 3, and it doesn't really matter in this movie. Oh, we also have this group of boys, which are all written the same, and doesn't really matter in this movie. But fuck having characters we can relate to and root for. This movie's all about Slender Man, which is the least scariest horror movie villain I have ever seen. Plus, he looks like shit in this movie. Thanks to terrible CGI, every time you see this dude, you're just like, yep, there's Slender Man. Now, despite what IMDb says, the girls don't really summon Slender Man in an attempt to prove he doesn't exist. Why do they try to summon Slender Man, you ask? Because that's what the boys are doing. Yep, that's it. Anything you can do, I can do better. The movie starts off with the girls meeting up with the boys on their way home after school. Seems the boys are all getting together tonight for something special. But sorry, ladies, no girls allowed. Which, now that I think about it, is the creepiest thing in the movie. I mean, they make it clear that girl 1 and girl 3 have something going with boy 2 and boy 3. And if you're doing something spooky, there's no better time to invite the girls you have a crush on. I mean, guys, have you never taken a chick to see a horror movie before?
You haven't.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Anyway, the girls all meet up later that night at this chick's house. You know, the one whose dad is a drunk. Here, girl 3 reveals she knows what the boys are up to tonight. Turns out they're trying to add another bro to the fold and summon Slender Man. Girl 1 doesn't know who Slender Man is, which leads them to the internet, and they fill us in on a little of the lore. Also, they watch a spooky video that is supposed to summon Slender Man. But they're not supposed to look when they hear the sound of a bell ringing. So they all close their eyes till, can you guess it? One of the girls opens her eyes. Ugh. It's the next day, and the girls are now on a class field trip to the cemetery. Yeah, a school field trip to a cemetery. It's supposed to be a historic cemetery, but yeah, perfect location for some spooky bullshit to happen.
We're at a cemetery.
So yeah, while at the cemetery, this chick goes missing. Now it's time to try and figure out what happened to this chick, and also try to find her. They come to the conclusion that the reason this chick is missing is because she called Slender Man and asked him to take her away. Because, you know, her drunk dad and being stuck in a small town. Yeah. But don't worry, somebody on the internet told them how to get her back. Just delete System 32. This leads the girls into the woods to sacrifice something they all care about to Slendy. Also, there's some shit about not looking him in the face, so they all put on blindfolds. And what do you think happens next? Go ahead, type it in the comments so I can see if you're right. Okay, done? Alright, so you may have guessed it. One of them takes off her blindfold. Girl 2, or was it Girl 3? Again, it doesn't really matter in this movie. She doesn't like the spooky sounds that come along with summoning an evil entity, and pulls off her blindfold and proceeds to run off into the forest. Here she sees Slender Man face to face, and it's extra cheesy. The way she screamed made me burst out in the middle of the theater laughing. Okay, so am I rambling? I feel like I'm rambling. Anyway, Girl 3 goes cuckoo, and we never really see her again. 2 down, 2 to go. Okay, what next? Oh yeah, about the closest thing to something scary happening is when Girl 2 here is in the library. But hell, it's a library. Those things are creepy anyway. Also, does every horror movie have to have a character go to the library to research the monster? Anyway, it quickly squirts on the string cheese when Slender Man shows up and takes the girl's face off. Now she looks just like Slendy, but now sporting a terrible wig with bangs. She stumbles around cream cheesily until she snaps out of it. Kind of like she's awakening from a dream in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie or something. That reminds me, there's a few scenes that have a very Nightmare on Elm Street vibe. One scene in particular with Girl 1 visiting her sister at the hospital. It's shot in a very dreamlike, slow-mo, Nightmare on Elm Street way. Okay, why is Girl 1's sister in the hospital? Because for some reason, Girl 3 took her into the woods to sacrifice something to Slender Man. Yeah, and she does this after she already knows some weird shit is going down. But anyway, I didn't write it. I'm just reviewing it. So yeah, Girl 1 is pissed, and she goes to question Girl 3 about why she would do this. Here, Girl 2 gives a half-assed excuse about it was before she knew, and she quickly becomes our next victim as Slender Man kills her with his horrible CGI tree branch tentacle things. Okay, 3 down, 1 to go. Girl 1, for whatever reason, gets the idea that the only way to save her sister is to give herself to Slender Man. She heads into the woods and calls him out, asking for him to take her, and when he shows up, she runs away. Bitch, you just said, come and take me. Now you're gonna run? Anyway, she doesn't get far as goofy-ass looking Slender Man chases her down and absorbs her into the tree. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, her sister wakes up and appears to be fine, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Is it good? Fuck no. Should you see it? I say so. One of those movies you watch on Netflix, maybe with a couple of friends, and laugh at how shitty it is. The acting in the movie isn't horrible, but everything else pretty much is. Slender Man isn't scary, he's just a horrible CGI mess. There's no real suspense at all. Everything that is supposed to be scary or creepy just makes you laugh out loud. And there's a few shitty jump scares, and that's about it. So yeah, I give Slender Man 1.5 cocks out of 5. Watch it with a buddy and have a good laugh. Alright, that does it for me. If you enjoyed this episode of
Midnight Monster Movie Review.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to peck that like button, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Rooster. Thanks for watching.
Bye.